Yeah, God bless her, cause no one else will. Like something out of a movie, but her life is real. Single mother trying to manage, but her heart is damaged from a lifetime of pain and all the men who took advantage. She wants to be a lady, but no one ever taught her. She had eyes like her father, so her mother never bothered. She herself was born to a broken home. The only thing she could depend on was being left alone. It's all she's ever known, it's all she's ever seen. Now it's 80-hour work weeks with 2 mouths to feed. 2 mouths in need of something that'll disrupt and stifle that force that perpetuates the cycle of these babies having babies. She's empty and she knows it. She needs love and gravitates to anyone who shows it. It was too much too soon. Now she's feeling hopeless. She wants to cry for help if only somebody would notice. She tried religion, tradition never satisfied that void inside that only something real could pacify. She said something right before she walked past me. With tears in her eyes and a broken heart, she asked me,
where do I go? Where do I go from here? Where do I go? Where do I go from here? I'm falling short. Where do I go? Where do I go from here? Where do I go? Where do I go from here? I'm falling short.
Yeah, must be more to life than these bottle of pills. Like something out of a movie, but his life was real. A slave to his addiction. He wanted to be an actor, but with the pressure for attention, depression became his master. Drugs became his answer. He lost all hope and he rode the slippery slope. To cope with things faster, there was something he was after. He turned his back on his family and his faith. See, his father was a pastor, misunderstood by everybody that was near him. He's crying out for help if only somebody could hear him. With anger in his heart, he left home with that mentality and sought out the first route to escape reality. He always knew that pride would come before destruction, but he needs these little white pills to function. Now he's left with nothing, still searching and can't guess why. He's empty inside and needs his next high to get by. He wishes he could go home and make things right with them. Will he be invited in or will it be a fight again? He said something right before he walked past me. With tears in his eyes and a broken heart, he asked me,
where do I go? Where do I go from here? Where do I go? Where do I go from here? I'm falling short. Where do I go? Where do I go from here? Where do I go? Where do I go from here? I'm falling short.
Yeah, he knows the risk of every deal. Like something out of a movie, but his life was real. Hustle hard was the mentality. This was his reality. To graduate, he'd have to avoid being a casualty. But long nights doing dirt feeds his daughter. He knows 16's too young for anyone to be a father. If he only would've had one to look at and teach him. If only my Dukes would've tried a little harder and reached him. He wonders if he looks like a man he's never seen. But there's no time for that, so it's back to getting green on cold nights with these old Nikes. He's on the grind, but he can't run from these heavy thoughts that's on his mind. With a gaping hole in his heart, he's trying to find a way to cover up emotions he's noticed since he was 5. Now he's locked up. They sent him upstate for moving major weight. These streets got an expiration date. With no hope and little chance of parole, the system took his freedom and the streets took his soul. He said something right before he walked past me. With an orange jumpsuit on and handcuffs, he asked me,
where do I go? Where do I go from here? Where do I go? Where do I go from here? I'm falling short. Where do I go? Where do I go from here? Where do I go? Where do I go from here? I'm falling short.
Yeah, and what's crazy is these type of people walk by us every single day, but we don't notice because we're so inward and we're so focused on ourselves and our own problems. We don't open our eyes to see what other people are going through, what other people are suffering through. Stop playing, man. Open your eyes.